On second glance,
It's unfortunate for...
let's see what's inside. The drawer opens smoothly. In hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out, and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really... It appears to be a to-do list written. Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes. Special whirling borscht. All items on the list have been crossed out.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
What is so special about this borscht? Code for... Remember, Leo, all items on the list. The drawer slides. The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover. Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism. They represent a society in accord with the natural world and at the same time above a shameful way to treat a former king. To your disappointment, there aren't any full... After rifling, the magazine is divided into several sections. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border. Something about bear wrestling in Somalia. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even... You flip back to the front of the magazine. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contempt...
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the...
You flip back to the front of the magazine. It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that, Kunz, as you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled... The actual article is surprisingly light. If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships. You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problems. Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships. And then, under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a free... And that precisely is what's problematic about it. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're... You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tournée is simply the apotheosis.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective. I'm sure most things are, if the young men who... If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large crane.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the... Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain... According to these editorials, there can be no accommodation with the... Why do communists love puerile? Judging from the context, it's something very large and fundamental. You should probably know about it already, honestly. You flip back to the front of the magazine. Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on. This is your cloak.
Yes, it does bear the RCM insignia. The service cloak issued to you by...
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, I will shield you from the element. On the ground. Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes.
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. Yes, this scene isn't exactly
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads,
If you must, but please hurry.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabin, it's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, Rene, is dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform. Rene looks like he's about to smile. This photo...
Why did you take that picture of Rene? Fine, but let's move. Control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above.
A container is attached to its hook block. Marsh. On. Arrête. Off. Crane stands tall, proud. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. And with the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the rusty control panel.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers. Except for...
Container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The accent is so thick.
Container, container, used to be Everard, Everard, Everard. He looks at...
The look in his deep blue eyes.
I see you are not a union man, mister. I mean, I don't personally just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what. Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men. It's very, very good.
Power borscht, huh? Never heard of a borscht that turns little guys into dogfight.
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags. Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir. Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates. We're on a strike.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard, but Titus and his boys got into some... Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everard telling them to take some time off.
Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow.
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. Well, that's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner.
Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes I am, yes I am. Sure, mister. Oh, I'm just making some cover... Sure, mister. Bye-bye now. mister? Sure, mister. Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for...
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the debuff.
No, not really. Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them.
Before you is a walrus. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of... I'd offer you my hand.
He looks extremely...
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store, forget about that. What's with this?
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man and reasonable men, so tell me, how can
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people... This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient.
Hey, that's 25 real. That's good money.
Don't mention it. But also...
Is he?
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter.
His slug. The world is swallowed. Oh God. Why didn't you think of this before? Fuck love. This...
You don't need a gun.
Are you all right, It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local
God, you're sweating.
Mr. Dubois.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps...
Mr. Dubois. Mr. Dubois. Mr. Dubois. Are you okay?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow. In a kind of...
Don't be dramatic.
What an odd demonstration of...
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions.
Of course.
That's what the hang...
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it.
I think the odds of that are...
I assure you, there's nothing to be... I have a big fat folder on you, Harry.
Don't trust...
I'm sure you had some concerns you...
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our...
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind?
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first. As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real ask.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Though...
He got the name from the Census Bureau.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi, from the Census Bureau. Like I...
That means he doesn't really know. A pity. The mystery of...
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
You might have noticed there's one hanging on it.
Oh my.
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain.
I can certainly see, but of course, all joke... Jean-Luc, the cop who bested you in physical... You can find Luke down at the gates, but you already knew that. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be.
Harry! I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak.
I assure you we are...
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. Oh, of course. That's your... I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colours, Harry.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his...
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call... Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't...
You want to send someone a message that the...
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy... A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave... Fantastic, You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the... Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that... I don't know what that means, Harry. You know what? Don't even tell me.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care.
Am I going to ask? Would you ask a man like that how he got... Don't worry, Harry. Between you and me, I'm not a huge fan of his race thing. But the Union did not get where we are today by frowning on eccentricity. Anyway, Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now.
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic. True, I said nothing about...
He means very little.
So it was. You bested me in race combat to reach my superior.
You're so noble, mate.
But while I am gone, someone...
That would mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the Union's side.
Yes. That...
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking...
Listen to your little friend, babe. See that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something? Cool, I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could...
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that...
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
The man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down, and what you had to do was to become a Union man.
So, how'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye. Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out. Oh, sorry, friend. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor. Right, always glad to help out. We're on this... A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's my polar weasel? Oh, what you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the well.
Okay, but where did you get it?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really... None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
Who he is and what they're fighting for?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even... What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to... Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men.
He means a more violent faction.
Understood.
No problem. I would...
A lorry stuck in the traffic. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin. The back end of the cabin is a small
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's...
He was acting tough before. The driver has adorned his space with a... The kid doesn't even look at... The tear machine stands. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. Do you know what you should do with that money, kid?
Is this about the question? Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir. Anything else I can do for you?
Blow the whole thing. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. This must be it. The basement, the Royal Lion, Guillaume's kitten. You try to be a side. Finally, the good job. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold as you hold the open. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a little ring. Though cheerful, the images betray a lack of interest in human beings. The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities. Of course, The lieutenant picks up.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container, and now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this close in the trash lead either way. There must be another way to do it.
Wandering man. How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Yeah, it would be really bad if we got into an argument.
All around you, rain, the spring thaw must be here. Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hat. Grey sky like great battleship, humid. Your coat shields you. A traffic jam, rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue, the road ascends, a raised river shop, it's home.
I have a brother in the cut.
To be in Martinez where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long-forgotten canal. in the whitest part of town. In the shadow of the day, the revolution failed. Standing in the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Satellite Officer Jean Vichmer rushes on the bridge. Officers talk.
Where's your homo, homie?
What?
It's not like that. They're what is called heterosexual life partners. They have a
Huh? Yeah.
Hetero. Sexual.
Funny apery. Male-centric workplace humor. Have you seen him?
Is there something?
No, nothing. It's just... Judith went to his place and found the Monday mail unopened.
That would be irresponsible.
With that animal? Never again, man. What?
In Martinez.
Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. Coalition aerostatics hang like Capeside apartments. Tower blocks, hallways collapse from the mortar. A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. Coal leaks into a puddle. Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinez, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs, cinder blocks left over from Coal City, end of all life. The skyscrapers of La Delta. Will you ever go there? No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands. Your hair is an oily mess. The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill. Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates. La Ducienne, King Couron, the lower middle class. A silvery curtain of rain.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we are dressed for it. Let's keep moving.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready. Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene.
The RCM's for
The fuck are they on about? Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
It's not about cutting. And no, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work. An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able, usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is Lieutenant Detective. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now, the way I see it, it's either this, or we complete the initial interviews. We already met Evrard, that only leaves the Wild Pines representative.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact. That's right.
The dead man stares in silence. Above those, an 11 field info.
That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings. Just
KK57. Next. NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
the corpse looks teeming with opportunistic
Mondial.
fair to olive-skinned from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as the pudgy mess of curdled meat. Look,
Fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable.
We're still going with March 4th. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable.
KK 57.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
A silent nod. The lieutenant.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with it.
I'm afraid we can't continue before we've gone through both the external and internal clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white... Babrodine, yes.
The disappointment.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his...
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
Tattoos. The upper torso is covered. The assistant has a... The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around, well-nourished, athletically built.
The spine is bent more than...
Of course, I undercompensated. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age.
The hair under your latex fingers. The stench is suffocating. Strands, more hair sticks to the glove. There, dead man. You were someone's child. The lieutenant watches you in silence. More hair. There.
That was some
Lividity is consistent with...
Fucking lover! Talking shit about cool.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters. The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see.
See?
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below. The chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No!
This is clearly what they've been...
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch. You should touch it. Doesn't feel like anything.
My pig's so
Oh, your pig's pretty sick.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact.
Bullets have bitten little pieces.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin. We have a real museum here. Last item, hands.
His flesh is cold.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name? I did, Kobo. I did. We should do this more often.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. I was. Maybe. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. I'm afraid we can't continue. Central nervous system.
You don't even have a joke.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently.
Yeah, Jack, that.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The respiratory system.
He's really doing.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received a dent.
No scream. No sigh of relief rises. No, you don't. You can keep it in. You manage to suppress the contractions.
There are ancient mysteries.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary. NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology. NA. Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits gastrointestinal. Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too. Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum.
Has confessed to causing it at
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description.
No, it's not.
Fucking fail it. Bitch saying your injuries. I do what I want, see.
Don't.
He's tired and weary.
Right. Next. Nothing. Just in case. A dark red abraded. I see
Below the note. What was that about? No chlorine around the neck? You'd be chlor.
That's it. We have. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy. Well, we were thorough with the list of
Oh yeah. Well done, Master Detective.
Now you.
Please get yourself to.
I need a copy of that autopsy for processing.
He's thinking, did I miss something? man is... The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. The man is The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands. The corpse.
Do you think?
You can't shake the...
I worked as one. In short, if you want...
Not to mention...
If you want...
Not to...
If you want...
Not to...
Hey.
Why, yes, there was.
Now, detect... Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking...
The man is decomposing visibly now. Every hour, he looks less like a creature. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus. I thought we decided to leave it...
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, the genitals in his...
There is no... Do you think...
You can't shake the feeling.
I worked as...
The man is the lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the victim. The man is decom. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the. The man is decom. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the victim's cold. The man is decomposing. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the victim's cold body. His fingernails have turned dark.
Do you think we missed?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more.
Okay, well, we are in leave of mort. Hey, wasn't there a...
Why, yes there was.
Now, detective, I've read... Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking...
The man is decomposing. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
I thought we decided to...
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Oh yes, Corporal. Just a small gulp. Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and...
The kid does.
Oh, it's you again. Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. Ah, yes. Fortress accident. The Wiro untethered die is a variation of a standard role-playing die. Only, I'm thinking something made from alligator jawbone, cast in black resin. The reptile bone is as white as ice. It's an icositetrahedron. A 20 untreated bone is porous and prone. Maybe you have some other ideas for that? I think I have just the right...
Police colors.
Not the most original, I know. Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
You overthink it. Your hands...
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? Of course. Tell me what you have in... I think I have just the right one for you.
Police colors.
Not the most original, I know. Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
You overthink it.
Oh, it's you again. Of course. Tell me, I think...
Police colors.
Not the most... Here, catch. They're a gift...
Mr. Smooth moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie.
Oh, what are the odds? The red one is made of bloodstone with a...
She winked back at you. Can you believe it? You truly...
You definitely need luck in Martinez. Was there anything else? Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure? Yes, you definitely have the proper attitude.
Pieces of lodestone. That's a stone for leader.
10 real, and I can get these ready in 8 hours. Great. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
As you turn, a bright light came. You sure? From a distance? What are you? Yeah. With a sudden... The man is decomposing visibly. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You really ought to wait until the cadaver is refrigerated. Digging around in this mess now is proving hopelessly difficult.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later, cop.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You really ought to wait until the cadaver is refrigerated. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You really ought to wait.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're... There is no way to sway this man in any direction.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated bug collection. What a weasel.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization.
Yes, yes.
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't grow.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks.
That's not how you batten someone. The technique is way off.
Of course, of course.
That's all he's going to say on this subject.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many...
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa. You name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages... Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of... Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that... But enough about me and my fun container. The killer... One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their...
What makes you think the Wild Pines negotiator can't
Harry, what you need to realize is, we got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough, potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure they're like you guys. Idealistic people who...
So these idealists...
One day Titus Hardy, he probably...
Aren't you worried?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that.
If he's just boasting, then it should.
How do I know? Let me tell you, last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see...
So you believe the scab...
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough...
He's not scared of them.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members. Always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but...
Interesting.
They're almost all of them great guys, bornly work with them. Hell, interview them, but don't fight them. You know what, Harry? I got a feeling...
The lieutenant marks something in his note.
But of course, it's the least I can do.
When you meet this...
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote. How many micro bribes would this guy take?
Good boy. A real team. Was it a good tour? I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to fit... Yes, Harry.
A man of the left. He's been hurt too much in the past.
Just between us, I don't care for those lefty dinks either. It's all about power, and here's how we're gonna get it. I need you to be my kingsman, Harry.
Kingsman?
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper. You bring joy. You need to get... Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a real kingsman. See you soon.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still... You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway.
Though it's clear you like the hard stuff, bro. Lower intent. Fascism, bro. Many things, but it's mostly. Quit stalling, Bruce. Yes. Woman. Woman. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is all... You're going to keep your vooz, right? Keep your... There's a slow... It is one of the...
Yes? What do you want to know? Ah, yes. 3 days ago, during that time, a security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. They didn't identify themselves. There's a strong prejudice against in. Just to be clear, we are police. Good.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. There are several footprints in the mud, left by maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. 1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46. 2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced. 3. Hobnailed work boot. 4. Standard work boot, number 45. You don't know. It's a miracle you could. 5. Another standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace, same makeup, impossible to tell. Could also have been, you're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. 8. And yet another standard work boot.
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. A woman or a kid? Okay.
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
Understood. Anything else? 200? Could it be the combined weight?
He might be right. 2?
Possibly, yes. Interesting. Someone operating a work...
He regrets it the most.
A drummer only uses the right foot for the kick drum. You're right. Perhaps it could be a driver. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. A week, maybe?
It is not.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day...
Correct again. So...
What do I think? Then, after hoisting him up, this...
Indeed. The man is... The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You really ought to wait until the cadaver is... The man is decomposed. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You really ought to wait until the cadaver...